At 69, she is a picture of health and vitality, a confident woman empowering other women. To the observer, her life has a picture book quality, yet when you look behind the scenes, her childhood was one of sheer terror and emotional deprivation. For years, she was subjected to repeated psychological abuse, lived in fear of her own and her mother's life. At the age of 15, she was gang raped and fell pregnant and was forced to surrender the child. It's hard to believe happy ever after is how this story could end. In her book, Beyond Abuse, Di Riddell speaks not just of survival, but thrival. Di, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Pat. It's lovely to be here.
I've had the privilege of reading your book, and what has left me in awe is not just once or twice, but on numerous occasions, you've transformed your life. However, what fascinated me about your book was on page 133, there's an ad. I'm just going to share that because that's where I want to start. Wanted, a crude, rude and rebellious man. A man who is only happy when making someone else feel they are stupid, useless and worthless. Who would answer that ad? And more to the point, who would place that ad and why?
Me. I did it. I did it. And isn't that sad that a woman would be in such a spot that is the ad that she answered in her mind every day of the week? And that went on for years and years, because after my life's experience, that's what I thought I was worth.
But things changed.
They did.
You reached a turning point.
I did. It got to the point, well, it was really the death of my husband. That was the catalyst. So the catalyst was the death of Les, and dealing with my grief put me back to face that less than salubrious past. And as I worked through my grief and I got to thinking about it, well, I didn't think about it, it got forced upon me. The thoughts rose, and then I started journaling, I started writing, and the book evolved. But the speech at the back, you know, you think about it, you write about it, and next thing you need to speak about it. I got to that point where it was bubbling up and it just had to come out.
We talked about this
So the
earlier.
book was the result of that. And then after I wrote the book and decided that was what I was going to do, it became a Toastmaster speech, and you know, that was the opening of my speech.
Yeah, so that became a real driving force, didn't it?
It did, because that led me then into where I wanted to go now, because I was lost for so many years until I could get a grounding to be able to move myself forward.
So you had some 45 years of history that hadn't been shared really until that point.
Yeah, exactly. Because as a rational adult, the rapist said on that night that was just the beginning, that they would come back and finish me off. To a rational adult, you might think pretty silly. To a scared teenager, 15 years of age, I took it to heart. So I pushed it down, and then it became that it was never going to come out. But dealing with my grief after Les passed away, it bubbled up. You know, if you squash something down far enough, it's going to bubble out. It'll come out somewhere. But I'm very lucky that it's bubbled out, you know, and I'm off on a completely different tangent now.
So your husband Les, who passed away
2002.
Yeah. He was very much a pivotal part of that turning point in your life, wasn't he?
Absolutely, yes. He was. I was nursing. No, I'd gone off nursing because part of the thing after the pregnancy with the welfare workers, they told me I was unclean, I was unworthy, I was a disgrace to myself, my family, my state, my country and everything in between, that I should go nursing and get out of society's way, because no decent man will ever want this woman. So when Les came along, and you know, he was the first man who really showed me respect, and I grew, and then you know, we got married, big story in between, but that allowed me to grow into the woman that I've become today. that started developing my confidence to lead me into what I do today. Yeah.
And there was a bit of an era in a way of being, wasn't there, back in that time? Like the way that social
Absolutely.
worker
Yes.
addressed you
Yeah.
and was so not there for you. Was a bit part of how life was then?
It is. I mean, that was life in the 60s, just like that's how nursing was in the 60s. You know, go off and go nursing, she said, so I did. I became officious and efficient, you know, bitch nurse. You know, I wrote the book. You know, anything you saw on television, yes, I did it. I said it and I behaved like it. God, I was good at it. Well, that was confidence tipped across to arrogance. If we had an hour and a half, I'd go tell you so many stories, but no, that's not where we're at right now. But yeah, that was life in the 60s. It's a very different world to what we live in today, and we can't put today's values on yesterday's actions.
Yeah.
No, there was a big point of forgiveness, of gratitude and acceptance for what had happened, and I couldn't have written that book if I didn't go down the forgiveness track for my father and you know, the growing up stuff and the rapists. It could never have been written. So that was the part. You know, we've all got choices. They were the choices that I made.
And you shared with me before the show that Les actually helped, Les was the one who helped you regain respect for yourself.
Oh, absolutely. And that just happened because, you know, I went out of the nurses' quarters straight into corporate sugar industry, and nothing in my life had prepared me for that. But I grew into that, and it was he who encouraged me to join Toastmasters, well, one of a few. And, you know, that just developed my confidence no end. And, you know, nearly 4 decades later, I'm still involved in the organisation, and I give back a lot today because that's what it's about. It's not about what happens to you, it's about who you become because of it and what you do with who you become. I love to give back, and that's my passion. I'm all on about confidence, and that's it.
Yeah. Now, you've written a new ad.
I have. Oh, have I ever wanted one woman who, you know, just one amazing bloody woman who deserves respect, overcomes obstacle and believes in herself. I answer that ad every day.
Wonderful. Di, thank you so much for being with us today. There are a growing number of women like Di Riddell who, through their life experiences, are able to hold your heart gently. What Di has shown us today is the degree to which our words can either wound or heal. So let me leave you with this. What hope is there for humanity if we don't change today to a loving world? I'll see you again on The Point TV.